The August 2021 poll has gone down in the history of Zambia as one that saw a huge turnout of young people to decide through the ballots. This contributed to the victory of the United Party for National Development, UPND, led by President Hakainde Hichilema, to form government. 2 years after being sworn in, the country has continued to undergo major economic and social reforms meant to improve the living standards of not only young people, but the general citizenry. Some of these reforms are based on the United Party for National Development UPND campaign promises, with key sectors like education and agriculture being at the core. In the education sector, developments like the implementation of the free education policy and reintroduction of meal allowances in public institutions of higher education have been actualized. The civil society has acknowledged the importance of reinstatement of meal allowances in higher institutions of learning.
We have the leadership that has got heart for the people. We begin from decentralization policy, where government has decentralized the education systems, where now we have decisions that are done at the constituency level. So we feel that the CDF has actually reduced the stress because government has provided educational bursaries. Beyond that, they have also provided skills empowerment. So young people that finish school, they have got an opportunity to excel themselves through the studies of skill development. Also, the government has also gone further to provide free education. I think this is a very one of the biggest achievements. There's no any other country in Southern Africa that is providing free education, providing bursaries, then providing also skills development. I think it's the greatest achievement that we need to applaud the UPND government.
But what has been the impact of the free education policy in the country?
Free education has caused enormous increase in terms of enrollments in our schools. Before that declaration, a number of our children in Eastern Province were not accessing quality education because parents could not afford to take them to school. So they are just at home, herding cattle, helping parents grow crops, that kind of stuff. But when that declaration was made, every parent in Eastern Province saw the need to take their children to school. So numbers have increased.
As a result of the free education policy, school enrollment has more than doubled, thereby overstretching their valuable resources and facilities. The Ministry of Education feels corresponding measures are already in place to mitigate this challenge.
My government is very happy to have these large numbers back in school. Pupils that didn't have the opportunity to learn are now back in school. And what my government has done to ensure the great numbers that have come back to school are taken care of in terms of where to sit. As I'm talking to you now, desks are being procured. Desks are being procured through CDF, the councils. When parents and citizens sit down to decide how that money that government gives in huge sums is supposed to be utilized, there is some deliberate policy in Eastern Province to ensure most of that money is spent on procuring desks for my children. And I'm talking here with facts. All councils in the province have put their focus on that aspect so that come December, the issue of desks for my children will be a thing of the past.
The scores in the education sector have also been endorsed by other stakeholders.
We've been on the ground as Chisomo, and we know that our people in the communities are aware about this, though we still have to sensitize them. In villages, most of the parents do not know, And hence they, instead of taking their children to school, they take them for child marriage. And most of the young people, most of them that were impregnated, this time they dropped from school and they thought they cannot go back to school. But because of this pronunciation that everyone is free to go to school and pay nothing, like the president said, they are able to go back to school. So let's encourage our children, let's encourage our young people to go back to school. Even those that were dropped from school because of teen pregnancy, let them go back to school. Those that were into child marriage, let them go back to school because this is important for them. Now we can't claim that we cannot take our children to school because of resources, because the education is free now.
I'm happy because we are seeing young people who are just sitting around at home in communities doing nothing. They've gone back to school because of the stance that has been taken by government as it's a policy of free education. So this is an encouragement to all of us that the young people who are just idling in the communities, at least they've got a chance to pursue some at least decent levels of education. Of course, they may be advancing in age, but the fact that they've gone back to school, that's is gratifying enough because at least they'll know how to write, to read and to write, even sign their own signature, which is a good thing. And no one will cheat them in the future because they'll be able to read any document which is put before them. So that is an encouragement. I'm also encouraging those other parents who are still feeling that this issue is not true, it's a fallacy, to try it.
Another significant sector that has received utmost attention from the government is the agriculture sector, which contributes about 3.4% to the gross domestic product of the country. Having faced challenges with the timely distribution of farming inputs in the first farming season, after the UPND assumed office, government has assured the timely distribution of the 2023-2024 inputs to farmers.
We want to make sure that the farming inputs are distributed in time, that our farmers can do better compared to last year. We don't want to make the mistake that we made last year, and that is the more reason why this is August and we are standing at 81%. You can see that we are almost beating the time. So I'm just hoping that by the end of this year, we will start the urea and the seed together.
To strengthen the sector, government effected changes through the shift to Comprehensive Agriculture Support Program from what was initially known as Farmers Input Support Program, FISIP. This was to enable government to promote crop diversification and support other agriculture enterprises like livestock, poultry, and aquaculture. Value addition and strengthening of agribusiness is another benefit of this policy shift.
Programu hii ya Comprehensive Agriculture Support Program niona kwa ine kuti ni program ya bwino makamaka kuli ise alimi omweti mavira mitu omweti napanga kuti ulimi ni malonda tayona kuti ni chintu cha bwino chifukwa chokuti boma ikatithandizira pa programu iyi mwachisanzo yanipasa ine kokhala mulimi Florence Jere tizambopezeka kuti talima portion yaikulu mwachisanzo talima sunflower tizambolima yambiri inaso sunflower tizambogulisako inaso tasungako yakudya tikasikinya inaso sunflower tikagulisa tizambopezeka kuti tagulako ka machine katukatu kuchita kupita kuchigayo kukagaisa ni ndalama so no more profit jazambogulaso tika machine kozipangira teka saladi zina ndalama zipita kubana baskulu zina upitirizira nditu business nanzako futi maneighbors bazambobwera kubolo sikinya ijajani ija sunflower na also alupanga saladi wopanga so business izakula muno mwatu muziko.
With an agriculture-run economy, Eastern Province is poised to benefit from this milestone.
So many benefits that our people will benefit from this product which government is trying to bring in. With FISIP, you'll be restricted to the crop that we want as FRIA. But with a loan, you can grow whatever you want, provided you are seeing that if I grow, for example, I want to grow mangoes, they require fertilizer and I get a loan. If I'm to get back or start harvesting the mangoes the following year or during the marketing season and sell and pay back the loan and it's lucrative, obviously I'll go for the mangoes. So that is the benefit which is coming. And the better benefit is that it's not segregating, it's not looking at who you are to get this loan. As long as you are a farmer, you can benefit from this very loan. And also do massive diversifications, because Zambia has basically dwelled much on maize, groundnuts and soya beans. These are the three major crops, I think, if not mistaken, that we are growing in Zambia.
However, there are areas that people in the region feel have not been fully addressed for maximized benefits.
Pali zinthu zingapo zamene taonapo kuti zaenda bwino koma ziyakine kulimbali ziyakine zamene zifunika kuti zikonzeweko kulingana na ise ponkhala alimi chifukwa nenso ne muzi wa alimi kumbali amene ikaliyooneka bwinobwino monga kunkhani ya ulimi. Kuno ku Eastern Province kwasu tudalira pa ulimi wa magadeni komanso ulimi wa kumunda, ndiye ofesi yasu adalira monga kuno ku Eastern Province, ankhale mzimayi, ankhale yusi komanso mzibambo. Koma tera challenge ataona ni nkhani ya FISIP. Nkhani ya FISIP tayiona kuti yupala ngati ni challenge. So chataona chingankhale bwino ngako kuti zinthu ziyende. Iyi program ya FISIP yofunika ichosepo ayike mloni kuti mlimi aliyense achite benefit wala kwanisha kulima. Foja kuti FISIP nayo yaleta ulesi, yaleta ukawalala, komanso yaleta corruption. So kuti ayika mloni kuti aliyense mlimi achite benefit. Wala kwanisha kutula 4 bags atole 4 bags paloni, wala ofuna 10 atole 10 paloni, wala ofuna 50 atole 50 kulingana na mphamvu zake. Ndiye kuti muno Mzambia mukhale muliye ulesi olo ulimi uyende pasogolo ndipo olova kulya vinkhalemu.
It is without a doubt that the Constituency Development Fund CDF has now become a household name. CDF is an initiative to support the decentralization agenda. This has been actualized by a substantial increase in the CDF allocation from initial 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million kwacha in 2022 and 28.3 million kwacha in 2023.
We have seen very good quality developments, very good projects, clearly showing that the increased Constituency Development Fund has really added value to the people of Chadiza, just like anywhere else. We do appreciate here in Chadiza and we are very happy. And the other thing is that CDF has also provided employment. We are grateful for the government for the increased Constituency Development Fund.
And we are thankful to His Excellency, our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, that he thought of rural constituencies or rural districts like ours, where we are struggling in terms of development. The increase in CDF is really helping us as a district to manage in many projects. Look at how many health posts we have constructed under 2022. Look at the classroom blocks that we have seen. Most of them, they are between 90 and 100%. And these classroom blocks are being constructed by our local people here in Chadiza. The local contractors, we didn't even import any contractor outside the district. 3/4 of them, or I can say the majority of them, are local contractors who are constructing these staff houses, the classroom blocks and the health posts.
People of Vubwi, they also appreciate because more projects they have seen from that amount. But this time around, councils are able to buy earth-moving equipment because the money has been increased. It's not the only one. There is also more which our people have benefited. There are some grants. Our cooperatives here in Vubwi, they have benefited a lot from the grants. There is also bursaries for skills. People of Vubwi, they have benefited keeping chickens from the CDF grant which they got. In terms of infrastructure, we are so happy that the face of Vubwi has now changed, because right now we have built a lot of classroom blocks, including teachers' houses, health posts. We have constructed from the same CDF.
Vubwi is developing. I've been in Vubwi for quite a long time, and I'm telling you, there is more development now. Where there were long distances for our mothers to move to clinics, we'll put in my health posts. I'm assuring you, I've moved near all around the district. People are happy with all the developments that our president, HH, is giving to Vubwi.
More reforms have also been made to include the components of school bursaries in skills training, among others.
Under the bursary skill, we've self-sponsored about 1,458 pupils for boarding fees through the province. And then under the empowerment grants, we've empowered about 2,058 groups. And under the skills development, we've trained about 1,628 students through the 2 years. We've also managed to ensure that under the loans, about 330 groups, organized groups, have received the loans.
Under the enhanced CDF, the introduction of grants and loans has transformed people's lives, as can be attested by beneficiaries in Vubwi district.
Tinachita apply form ya grant. Tinachita apply form ya grant, anachita approve potipa ndrama yokwana 40,000. Chitogozo nchakuti tutogoza boma la Hakainde Hichilema potithandizira kuno ku Nsinde wadi kutipa ndrama za business. Chotero business yathu itayamba iruyenda bwino kwambiri. Chifukwa makastoma amene alubwera pano pa shopu akuchoka ku dziko la Mozambique, komanso akuchoka ku dziko la Malawi, komanso muno mu Zambia. Chifukwa chochuluka makastoma, ife asogoleri mogwirizana ndi mamembers wathu ndife okondwa kwambiri. Chotero kuno ku Nsinde wadi chitukuko chinachilandira.
Fika panopo ifanya ndalama zathu zimene timapeka za mashare ni mali new 20,000 imene pomene atipasa ndi imene ipangisa kuti business yathu tifika panopo pano tikupeta chani nkhuku. Ndikoma isenifuwa kondwa zedi kuboma tuyamikira boma ipitirizo tipasa ndalama zimenezi kuti ife ma business wathu azimaya apite pasogolo. Mazo ife azimaya tikakhala kuti tukhani ndalama ya mzimayi imathandiza kugulu siyani ya mzibambo. Ya mzibambo imathera kumowa kuti kwa mzimayi agula mchere chani imatenga mbali ya ikulu zedi. Ndiye ife tupempha boma kuti ipitirize ma business azimayi kuno ku Nsinde kuti tife okondwa ngako tupemphe aso azathu azimayi amene sanayambeko business iyi kuti boma ibathandize nawonso azimayi apangeko business iyi. Kuti ife panopa ndife okondwa kopambana, koma tupempha boma kuti tithandize kuti business yathu ipite pasogolo kuti tisalekeso ayi.
Mbali zina ma business anali omako kuma tachita boost ma business wathu moti ine pano ni lukamba mwina muluona amene ionekera shopu yanga sinalitere, koma malo motenga loan kuboma business yakwera. Umupenyera shopu iyi sukuti ningakanga ubweza loan 5%. Yeah. Ubadula kwa yapo kumanyumba kwathu kuna umphawi unachepa tuthandiza mabanja plus zinchito zomwe tilugwira kuja anthu ena aluchitako mapisi weki kumabanja athu omwe sauthandizika. So tanthauza kuti iyo ndalama ni ya phindu kuli ise. President sinidziwa kuti amaganize chani kwenikweni ali ni maganizo ozama kuti uthaza ka 5 kutsogoloko ngati zingapitirire izi ndiye kuti umphawi mdziko la Zambia uchepa.
Traditional leaders, civic leaders, and other stakeholders have testified to these benefits.
Niyamikira boma lomwe tili nalo pali pano la Mr. Hakainde Hichilema latibwesa chitukuko chomwe nkale lonse kuno kodera lathu kuno kunalibe. Ndiyeno tinalufuna skulu tinayesa tekha makolo yeso umanga kwa makolo nkuleko perewera koma pa skulu labwera ili palibe watu sapondalama kuti mangidwe uyamba pasi foundation mpaka kufika apa yafika pali pano tuyamikira kwambiri tifanthu othokoza boma lomwe lilipo pali pano. Please kathokozeni kwa president kuti tamikira.
I can assure you, at first we had a big challenge of classroom. The people of Sindemisale, in particular Choumba, they are very much happy to see the structure behind me. So the people of Sindemisale, together with Choumba, they are really thanking the President, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, for the good work he has done for the people of Sindemisale.
In the same light, beneficiaries of the various components of CDF are grateful to government.
For me, I've quite gone through a number of stuff that made me to draw back in life. But this time that I've had this opportunity of this sponsorship from the CDF, it has quite helped me. Well, but I'm looking forward now to have a great and bright future and to fulfill my plans. In that I'm not only having this training to seek for a job, but I want to have my own business. I own my own business because I'm getting a skill, which I don't need to look for somebody to employ me, but I need to employ others. And I really appreciate anyway for this opportunity, and always be grateful to the government for bringing up this idea of bringing up the CDF as a sponsorship for skill training, because this is one of the best things that we have seen that's going to bring a lot of development in our country.
Favor Women's Club tinakhala pansi azimayi tinapanga mu 2020 ndipo tinatenga certificate. But uchoka 2020, 2021 tinalibe thandizo ina iliyonse. Pomwe nabwera wa CDF watiganizira ndipo watipasa ndrama yokwanira 40,000. Tinamba oda nkhuku pa first tinaoda nkhuku zili 250 tabwera tagulisa, but tenze tinapezekako na challenge ya kufa kwa nkhuku, so tinapange profit yambiri. So after tagulisa tinabwera taodanso zinango nkhuku tagulisa iyo yeve tinapanga profit tenze tinapanga 60 chakuti 1,000. So tinabwera pa group patu tilipo 25. So tinabwera tagawanapo kang'ono paka na azimayi wachitako benefit. Ndipo pa group patu ndisewo kalomba.
On social protection, the UPND government has increased support, and Eastern Province is this year increasing the number of beneficiaries on the social cash transfer program to about 169,000 from 138,600, depicting an increase of over 30,000.
Also, the increased social cash transfer has also benefited the people of Chadiza. We have a lot of beneficiaries in Chadiza, and these fees have been doubled by the UPND government.
There has been an allocation social cash transfer increase from 3.1 billion in 2022 to 3.7 billion kwacha in 2023. Improved public sector partnership. You have engaged all of us locally and internationally in the multi-sectoral development program.
The UPND government, when we got into power, we looked at who is to be given this money. That is first of all. Secondly, before we could look at who's going to be given this money, we also looked at what impact is it going to have on an individual, a family that is struggling to feed themselves. Because it gives a chance for a grandmother who is unable to till the land or is unable to venture into agriculture or do other things, to buy food that will assist the child who's going to school, to feed and also to come and be fed when they come back from school. It gives them a chance to also access education, because there's no one who can sit in class in an empty stomach. And so this money that is given to vulnerables literally is assisting a lot of households that are unable to feed themselves because they cannot venture into anything. Either they are too old or they are unable just to venture into any other activities. But what we are saying as a government is that we're going to look at a vulnerability as the part of eligibility for you to get what is duly yours, because you are a Zambian. And therefore for us, social cash transfer has really been an impactful program in Eastern Province.
In Chadiza district, this initiative is impacting positively on the beneficiaries.
Amwena mbito tenga ndarama 2020 ubwino nawona ubwino wa ndarama nawona namba nagulako kachimpango kambuzi kachipi kake nagula matresi natumalata pang'ono so chape paka nafika pali pano. Ndarama iyi nikatenga yabwera ndarama iyi imanthandizako kumwana uskuru kena kache nagulako kasopo ngakachakudya palibe nagulako kachakudya basi yata kulingana ni ndarama amene ilili niloyamika kwa mbirimbiri kuti boma iyi inabwerapo yayikirapo sovena bantu ajana liwovutika ngaine tempano ayikiriraposo.
Still on social protection, President Hakainde Hichilema signed into law the National Pension Scheme Amendment Bill of 2023 to allow for the partial withdrawal of pension benefits. This move received accolades from various sections of society, as it was one of the promises President Hichilema made to the people of Zambia. NAPSA area manager Jesse Kombe said the actualization of the pre-retirement benefits has given young people yet another avenue to take part in the socio-economic development of the country.
Recently, there was an amendment to the Act, and people are now able to access the pre-retirement, what we are generally calling as the partial withdrawal, the 20%. So you can see that that one has affected a lot of people, in that people don't have to wait until they reach retirement at 55, 60 or 65 before they can access their money. So it has included even the younger generation, so that people can then begin to participate in the economic development of this nation.
Meanwhile, those who have benefited from this program, both directly and indirectly, are full of praises.
I'm one of the beneficiaries of the NAPSA partial withdrawal. Through this partial withdrawal, I for one have been helped. I've been able to complete my projects. I'm currently rearing about 250 chickens. Through this platform, through this media, I just want to say, President Hakainde Hichilema, Twalumba, we are very thankful. I know it has touched a lot of people, and a lot of people are still benefiting. Please continue with these progressive ideas.
The milestone of the UPND in the 2 years of leading government have one goal, which is economic transformation. On this journey, the President has emphasized the need to develop entrepreneurial minds away from the mindset of being accustomed to handouts. In Eastern Province, it is indisputable that government, through the initiatives such as CDF, social protection, and agricultural reforms, among others, has built a strong foundation for socio-economic development in the 2 years it has been in government.